Language was, to us, a fundamental.
The first office was manned by not trained social workers, but volunteers. And they were the ones that actually opened the door and heard the problems of the new migrants at that particular stage and heard the story and tried to provide services.
The question of being able to deliver services in a language that people understood, but also to understand their expression of their needs.
We had a number of meetings and isolated the issues that were of concern then to the Greek community, and I was tasked with drafting a constitution for PRONIA, and once we were incorporated, we were away and running.
There wasn't a single qualified social worker, and the late and wonderful Nick Polithis, he actually went back to university in order to train as a social worker so that the organisation could qualify to apply for funding.
The leading press in the Greek community were right behind us. We had the Bishop and we had the Greek Consul General, and with those people there, you were able to get it out there.
When I was in Greek welfare, I spent a lot of my time negotiating with public servants and talking with politicians. Perhaps this is an arrogant way of expressing it. We were equal. We treated politicians as negotiating partners.
It wasn't just about language, it was about developing a sophisticated professional response, service delivery response to the needs of the community, and it remains absolutely relevant today because we live in a country where cultural nuances are still very relevant.
And the founders had done an exemplary job in putting the organisation on the map, but also the needs of the Australian Greek community on the map. There is a whole pool of extraordinary professionals that speak the Greek language to draw from. So when you look back during the course of the 50 years, that's the journey that we've actually travelled.
We're now 200 plus staff, skilled people, people with knowledge from different backgrounds, diverse in their experiences and knowledge, and all of that makes the team here at the organisation. There's a lot of intergenerational work that's happening at the moment because we're engaging with different segments of the community. We have our youth, we have our young families, we have our elderly, we have people with disabilities, so we have diversity in the people that we're servicing. But we also have tradition, and the organisation is built on tradition and it's built on people serving people, and that's the core business of the organisation.
As we celebrate in 2022 the 50th year anniversary, we look forward and think, well, what's it going to be like in 10, 20, 30, 40, the next 50 years? And we need to be always a step ahead.
Will it change? Will it be something different? Absolutely. But if it sticks to its values, its core business of meeting the needs of the community and being vibrant, then we will continue to exist.
Listening to the community is important. You know, listening and saying, well, what are we doing well? What aren't we doing well? And what can we do better? And I think that's really the key to any business, let alone community services organisation that actually deals with people's lives in the way that we do.
Advocacy is something that the organisation has done for 50 years, and in fact it started as a lobby group, an advocacy group. It's important that ethno-specific organisations like ours do not lose their voice.
PRONIA started off through volunteers, active people in the community who recognised a need and responded.
And they give passionately to their work with the elderly and people at home and in residential care.
You know, whilst it started off with volunteers, I mean, it's continued its journey and its growth, still using volunteers and still connecting with the community, and I think that's really important. And so long as there are volunteers to perform the work that they do, I think that the organisation will be in a good space.
Contrary to what might have been suggested 25 years ago by officials that PRONIA may have run its, sort of run its term, it hasn't, and it's proven to be very as much relevant today as it was 50 years ago when it was first established.
Αυτό λέω. Πού είναι εκείνα τα χρόνια που δεν είχαμε τίποτα, ούτε βοήθεια, ούτε να κάνουμε το παραπονό μας, πουθενά.
Αν μου πει κάποιος θα σταματήσει, θα με πειράξει. Θα με πειράξει.
Πώς να σου πω, είναι μια Ελλάδα, μια ξεχωριστή Ελλάδα η πρόνοια.
Πρώτα απ' όλα αυτό που έχετε εδώ είναι το καλύτερο. Υπέροχο για τον ελληνισμό.
Μακάρι να είσαστε πάντα έτσι καλά, γεροί, δυνατοί, να βοηθήσετε τους ηλικιωμένους.
Μέχρι πότε θα έρχομαι? Μέχρι πότε είμαι καλά και περπατάω.
I couldn't imagine a time when we didn't have an organisation like PRONIA for people. So it continues to be that place of hope, assistance, security, somewhere to go.
PRONIA is the support, the pillar for wealth services of the Greek community. We must emphasise that it is there for the needs, it is there for the support.
It is a flexible organisation, one that really understands and has a long history of understanding its community. So I think that the future is bright for PRONIA to continue and for the Australian Greek community to be able to take advantage of that.
That community is changing. It'll change even more. It'll change very well in 50 years' time. I say that knowing full well I won't be here to see it. I can predict the future to that extent.
We're very proud, and as much as we like to think we're Australian Greeks, deep down our culture, our food, our music, our language is inherently Greek, and I think it'd be a shame to lose it.
Greekness within an Australian context, and this is where we need to consider what we want as people.
Am I proud of PRONIA?
Yes.
Of course I am. I'm proud of the Greek community because the Greek community have been pioneers and they've been at the forefront of that great settlement of migrants post-Second World War, you know, the time that I came to Australia. It's an enormous period.
Yes, of course I'm proud. I'm proud of a lot of things. I'm proud of what the Greek community has achieved.
That we believe in what PRONIA stands for and what its mission is, its values and where it's going.
And this is what must go out to the community, you know, that PRONIA is there for them. PRONIA is part of the family.
Family. Still devoted to the memory of my parents.
It was really a great satisfaction to me that we were able, without really knowing quite how we were going to do it, we were able to set up a welfare society. They were good times because we all worked together with suitable humility. We just knew that this is worth doing, and it was great to see it happen.